like to thank one of my subscribers, JG, for this video. Male factor infertility accounts for about 40% of cases when couples struggle to conceive. I have done a few stories on that in the past, and as you can see, this thing is pretty global. It's not one of these things that's isolated to just a particular part, although the Western nations are the ones that are hit the hardest. This came out in the Herald, Australia, and it's dated September 20th, 2018. For 18 months, Gabrielle and Pat Witter tried for a baby. And for 18 months, they assumed they just weren't having any luck. Month after month, it started to become excruciating. And we did start asking questions. Miss Witter, 36, said, I went to see my GP and he said that this happens, that it was quite normal for it to take a while. But I asked for a referral to go and see a fertility specialist about it, just to rule out any problems. They did some tests, which revealed Mr. Witter had poor sperm mobility. They were going around in circles, essentially, Miss Witter said. There was a bit of a surprise when we found out there was something wrong, but also relief. I am just glad we started asking questions. We could have kept going. It could have been so painful to keep trying. You grow up thinking it is so easy to fall pregnant. Then, when you get there, it is not always as easy as you think. Even without any fertility issues, the couple went through IVF. That's the in vitro fertilization through Gina. And they are now parents to Rosie, who is almost 2, and a 5-month-old Grace. IVF still seems to be fairly taboo. A lot of European women, or even here in America, a lot of women try to use that, but it can be quite expensive. That's why you will hear about many of these same women just freezing their eggs, and even that success rate is very low. IVF still seems to be, let me just go down a little. We just try to embrace the positive. You are completely aware what is happening to your child from the very first stages. We are lucky because we had 2 successful experiences, but I think it's important for people to know that it's not such a scary process. It's not something they should be ashamed of because it hasn't happened naturally. Fertility specialist Dr. Aaron Fuller said, while the female's age is the biggest factor in deciding when to seek help, male infertility was a common reason couples might find it difficult to conceive. And that really is the case, ladies and gentlemen, here in the US. It's not just the women. It's not just the women. A lot of these men are infertile. And that is the reason why these couples are now going all over the place trying to get surrogates, or going over to Eastern Europe and trying to find people to carry their babies, because in many cases, the man is infertile. Okay, we talk about the women being barren, but a lot of times these men have low sperm counts, and I've did videos on this before in the past as well. And it's more common in the West. than in most places on this earth. The Western nations are the ones that are struggling with low population. They are also the ones that are struggling with low fertility as well. Okay. 1 in 6 Australian couples have trouble conceiving. About 40% of the time, that will be due to male factor problems, she said. But she said an IVF process called ICSI, um, which is meant when they inject the sperm in order to try to impregnate a woman. Even those with very low sperm count could still father children. We only need 1 sperm per egg to do that, she said. A lot of the time, um, what she's saying is a lot of the time women will look at themselves believing that they are the problem. And a lot of times when they can't get pregnant naturally, couples will sometimes believe they just can't have kids at all. She advised men to maintain a healthy weight, not smoke, limit alcohol consumption, regular ejaculations, or having sex 2 to 3 times a week also help to improve sperm quality. Women under 35 who have been trying for a pregnancy for a year should seek help. Anyone over 35 trying for 6 months should seek help, she said. So, as you can see, they're struggling in Australia, just like anywhere else in the world, to try to have children. So, for some people, it's easy to do those things naturally. For others, they have to turn to fertility clinics and in vitro fertilization or freezing eggs and hoping that once they're ready to have a baby, they can use those eggs and have babies. And of course, you have men um, that have low sperm count in many cases. I mean, 40%, that's pretty high when you really think about it in terms of so many males that are walking around infertile or they have fertility issues. And it is no wonder these things are happening simultaneously all over the place. It's not like it's happening in one country, but all the other countries are okay. We know this is happening in many of the Asian nations and the West, which have been the most prominent in the news when it comes down to low birth rate and infertility. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.